Alright, so just a quick update on the 1966 Plymouth Fury VIP coupe. We're getting back on it. Just for people who didn't know, I've had this car since October 2017, October 20th, 2017 to be exact. Worked on it throughout 2018, worked on it some throughout 2019. Here it is, July 29th, 2020, I think. Yep. And it's still not done. And right now we're focusing on getting it done. 2019 really threw us off because, that was a time when I was looking around for property, and the beginning of 2020, as you've seen, I had a big property to work on and get a lot of shit done. There's still a bunch of stuff that needs to get done on that property. It still doesn't have utilities as of now. It doesn't even have electricity yet, which we're currently working on that. But anyway, to get back to the Fury, because I kind of got lost there. I'm currently working on the sway bar hangers. We gotta cut these pinch welds so that we can get the new bushings in. I gotta move K7061 sway bar bushing kit a while back. And so we're working on that. So pretty much what's left on this car is sway bar and then routing the front brake lines and getting the brake booster in. And then I think really the last thing is getting this tank fixed. I was having a really hard time finding a brand new tank for this car because it's a 66. 66 is an oddball year for the Plymouth Fury when it comes to gas tanks. 65 is also one of those too, where it's only one type of tank for that year. 67 tanks won't fit because they are 40.5 inches long. This is a 38.5 inch long tank, and this is original. It came out of the 66 Fury. Finally found the right reproduction tank. There is one. It's by Vans Auto. They're the only company that makes it. They're not really a sponsor or anything. I'm just mentioning. So if you're working on a 66 Fury and need a tank replaced, go to them. They have the right tank. But I just decided that right now I don't want to spend the money to get a new tank. And we're just going to patch this up for now. It's got about 3 holes and a crack. The 3 holes came from a slide hammer because, as I'm not sure if I've told y'all this in the past, but driver's side rear quarter got hit, frame rail was bent, and the tank was bashed in. And we were trying to figure out how to pull these dents out to try to save this tank, which honestly this whole tank needs to get replaced, but we're not going to go into sealing it or spending big money on it. We're just going to pull the dents out so we can get most of our fuel out of it. And we're going to patch the holes so that fuel can stay in it. It's got some rust, but that's just something when I sell this car, I'll definitely let the buyer who's interested know that it needs a brand new tank, because this is not something you want to run on for long unless you know how to do all this and you think it's worth cutting it open and redoing it all, but as of that, that's it. So for mechanically, that's it. And then interior wise, I'm not sure if I'll put a carpet in. I'll probably just put the seats back in because the seats are mostly fine. I mean, this is comfortable to sit on. It's not reupholstered, but we're just I'm trying to get this car done as fast as I can, so I can move in a new project that we're going to be having coming soon. So yeah, just a quick 4 minutes. This is the original mat that's on top of the tank, and then this is the back seat. And yeah, and I mean, we got our power steering system back together. I'm tripping. Yeah, but I mean, we still got to test the electrical on this car. I did get an ignition lock cylinder for the dash because it's missing oddly when I got this car. It was gone. So yeah, that's just a quick update of what I'm doing, and I'll show you when the sway bar is in and we move on to the next thing. Alright, so we're currently attempting to solder the holes on the tank. We're going to see how this goes.
No, these matches don't work. Can't light a match. Oh, I guess not. Damn. This thing's hard to light. Oh, man. Can't get it.
I think we used a candle to fix that problem.
Alright, we'll get one.
Okay.
Kinda looks good, huh?
Yeah.
Whoops. Look out, Nick. It's not clean up here. I guess I'll burn it all out. Watch out. See how it's not clean up here?
Yeah.
See how bad that is? It won't go into that hole.
Yeah.
So that's going to have to get cleaned out, I think, all bad. Now this ought to be fun. This is why I think welding, we need, this one here. Let's get this one. No, this stuff will kill you. Don't breathe the vapor. This shit's toxic. Cancer and reproductive. Yeah, look at all that junk. See? Well, I don't know if I got the vapor or if I got the. Yeah, if I got the tar. I don't know where that hole is now.
Looks sealed.
That's the one right there, right?
Yeah.
Give me the solder. Let's see if this thing is any good. See, it doesn't want to attach to it.
Yeah, I would try a different hole.
Can you put solder on that?
Okay. So solder right here. It's just.
I need, yeah,
Oh.
hey, can I
Yeah.
get that over?
Yeah.
Put some of the flux on that.
Okay.
Right here. A little hole. Okay. Now solder.
Okay.
Lots of it. It's really repelling. There.
That's good.
Still soft, see?
Yeah. That'll dry off quick.
Well, how about this guy? Put some flux on here, though. It's down,
Okay.
down.
All right. So we just got done with the tank, and you can see that these holes are gone. Just fill them in with solder. This hole is gone. This hole here gone, gone, gone. They're all done on this side. There was a hole somewhere along here. That's done. Those holes along here, those are all done. So far we're good. Now I just gotta vacuum it out and then install it and connect the fuel line and everything and see how good it holds and stuff. There. Alright, so I just fixed my power washer and I'm gonna go ahead and power wash this tank. See if I can get all the dirt out of it and get the dirt on the outside out. So far the solder still holding up and everything, and see how that goes. Alright, so filled up the tank with water and found a leak right there. It actually started off as a slow leak, because it was underneath this coating here, this Z-Bart, the crap that they would spray on the cars at the dealers to prevent friggin' rot and stuff, which really never worked. But that did hold back the leak a little bit better. You know, it was more slow, but then once you scrape the Z-Bart off, then it's literally just straight up just draining. So I'll go ahead and dump this and show y'all a better view of that crack or whatever. Yeah. Just like that, we got no leaks. There's our patch job right here, and everything's holding, so we're good. I mean, that's how full this tank is. If you can
half full. We probably ought to try to block something and fill it all the way up. You know, eventually, but this is the status we're at.
Yeah, it holds gas. It's gonna be fine.
It's halfway full. I can see the water right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's above the joint. That's good. See this seal joint?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
no leaks.
Yeah. We could lower this a little. And see. Ooh, this is heavy. Don't drop this on my toe. One thing. This. I can't get this down for some stupid reason. There we go. Whoops. Alright, I'm gonna raise it up there. Okay.
Well,
it's
might as well
sloshing.
dump it out, man.
No, I want to see. I'm trying to get it to. It's still sloshing around. See, it's going back and forth a bit.
Yeah.
So once it quits sloshing, it stabilizes. Then, we can check this end for any, cracks we didn't notice. Look it's still oscillating in there. Look at this. Takes a while for that wave to stop. See it?
Yeah.
Little by little.
Yeah.
Well, I was just
It's
trying
official. We're not buying a tank.
I'm not buying a tank.
There was a little tiny
Shut up.
speck of a hole.
Shut up. I mean,
And he went to just.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna explain. I'm not insulting you. I'm just trying to explain it.
What it proves is how much rust is behind that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it was just a little speck of a hole, and he was just trying to dimple it so that
Just a little.
the solder
Just dimple
could
it,
flow
and
in
it went
there,
right through.
and it went right through. I mean, this tank's a piece of shit. And
So we're gonna have to learn how to weld now, or we just get another piece of metal.
Solder won't
over
fill
it.
that.
No, but what we'll have to do is get a piece of metal and cover it and then solder all over it. So then the metal keeps the solder from going into the hole and becomes kind of like a patch, like a tire patch. You glue a piece of rubber over it.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. So let's go have a lunch. Live and learn.
So, this is what happens when you leave 2 matches and have 2 flames on a candle. Leave matches on a candle, basically. You get a candle that is completely melted. And we had to do all that. We almost ran out of matches, almost ran out of friggin' flux, almost ran out of, I don't know, probably almost ran out of propane. But, this is what we got done. He had to, we had to solder a whole new patch in to fix that hole. Honestly, I think $300 is worth more spending than trying to save this fucking tank, you know, because I'm going to be selling this car. And so all y'all that are interested in buying it know that this tank is a piece of shit and it needs to get replaced ASAP. And we don't have the money right now or whatever to get a tank, so that's just gonna how that's gonna go. So I mean, we got it completely sealed. We did the water test on it, it's not leaking at all, so we're good. Spent a whole fucking day on this just to save $300, so we'll see. Better not fucking crack when I'm putting the damn thing into the car, you know, but we'll see. All the solder came out.
Quit moving it. That's for the train, huh? That's clean, right? Look at all that water.
Yeah.
No more run. Can I kill this?
Yeah. Switch. I'm gonna show y'all something here. Get under here. That right there is a bushing. So each sway bar hanger has 2 bushings on each side, and then there's a little cap here. And of course, cap comes off no problem, but these bushings are probably as old as this car. They're probably stock OEM bushings, and they're literally melted on here. And I'm gonna have to pry them off. There's one on the other side, and then over here, the cap fell off this one. But I mean, still, they're just smushed on there and melted on there and crap. So I got to work on that. And there is new caps and bushings come with kit. Alright, y'all, so I get this sway bar in. It was a bitch. And yeah, there you go. There's the sway bar. Now, I do have we were having some fitting issues, and we're thinking that's either because this body is just friggin' bent because of what happened down there at the driver's side rear quarter, or I don't know. I mean, that's the best conclusion we can come up with why this thing was such a bitch to put in. You know, because what we were having is this side would go in perfectly, but this side would stick out, and we had to really struggle with it. And then we'd have the reverse happen where this side would go in fine, and then that side would pop out, and it just was not going well. And I swear, I mean, the original manual for this car doesn't actually show a clear picture of how accurately, you know, how the absolute correct way that this sway bar is supposed to go in. I mean, they tell you, you know, the general instructions of how to put it in, but if you take it out, I mean, but based on all the reference pictures of underneath a car, a 66 Plymouth Fury with a stock sway bar, and how you can tell it's stock is because these aren't drilled through, because you have to drill through these and you have to cut these spot welds to change out these bushings. So usually those will just be welded together and there won't be any hardware, and that means they're stock. But if there's bolts here, that means that somebody's changed these out, which we decided to do that because I think that's the right thing with this car, because this car has had the same bushing since it came out of the factory, and I think it's time that it does get some new bushings. So that's the way that is. But we did have to spin these around for this sway bar to fit in right, which, I mean, it seems perfectly fine. And I don't get the difference of spinning it around, because spinning this around is the actual original stock way of doing it, but we just decided to do it this way because it works, you know. And we got some bending going on here with our hangers, and when I took this sway bar out, these hangers were already bent, you know. But I'm thinking what's going on is that these bushings up here, these are not stock bushings, they're brand new bushings, and I think they're too thick for these hangers, and they're pushing these hangers too down, you know, pushing them too low. So then it's putting stress on this and causing crap like that to pop out, and it just to be a pain in the ass. But we got it in. It holds. Hopefully we don't have to take it out again. But I'll show you all a stock picture right here. I'm going to throw it in. Yep, you can see that. So that's a sway bar. It's in. And the rest is just torquing everything down, and then the front suspension is done. And then it's on to putting the gas tank in, which I showed y'all earlier. We're power washing this out. We found a bunch of holes in here. For some reason there's a dent. I don't know how that dent got there, but it's there. I guess he pounded, I don't know what happened there. Well, I guess he indented it again so he could try to fill that in with solder. But I really don't think it matters whether you indent it or not. You know, solder is eventually going to stick. And so we're still trying to just leave this tank, you know, up to the buyer whether they want to change it out or not. And we're just going to use this tank the best we can. But actually, you know what? The holes are actually right here. You see all those black spots there? Those are all the holes. But I don't know where the hell this dent came from. And there's a bunch of scrapes. And there's some chisel marks. So I don't know how the hell that happened. But, yep. That's it. And then, you know, so we'll get all this torqued down. We'll get the rest of this tank patched. Hopefully we're not patching it for friggin' ever, and we can actually get to a point where we can put it in without it leaking on us. Because it's still, you know, I still am considering getting a new tank, because having a new tank is great. You know, because it doesn't even matter whether, you know, you take it out for body work or not. You still got a brand new tank that's not full of holes, that doesn't have rust. Because the problem is when this car got hit and this tank got bashed in, there's a special coating in these tanks, And when that coating gets broken, then it rusts. And this tank, you know, luckily it wasn't in the worst climate ever where there's actual salt on the road that was rotting it from the outside in. But because it didn't have its coating, it was technically rotting from the inside out. So that's what we're dealing with, all these little pinholes and stuff, and hopefully we don't find any more. And then the rest of them are just stress cracks from, you know, what happened to this tank. And also I think we created some more cracks when we tried, you know, pulling most of the dents out of this tank, and that caused more cracks. But yeah, there's a inside, and yep, and that's it. See y'all in the next video. Peace.